ये जो मैगी का पूरा इंसिडेंट हुआ था ना 2015 में, टेस्ट किए गए थे और उसके अंदर जो लेड का कंटेंट था, इट वाज फाउंड 7 times more than permissible limit. Nestle, it's taking lead and sprinkling it on their food. So if we want to make made in India, especially in the food space, to be a global benchmark, then we have to start investing in our qualities. Last 5 years, the number of orders on Zomato, for example, have grown 5x. Almost 65 to 70% of Indians are not consuming the right amount of protein they need as per their body weight and all of that. Have you ever lost a consumer because you were too honest? Today we work with 90,000 customers. The reason we are growing at that speed and the reason we are the most recommended lab is because we have held that stand. तो हाल ही में एक जाने माने इन्फ्लुएंसर ने हमारे ब्रांड पे वीडियो निकाला, क्लेम किया था कि इस ब्रांड पे 300% ज्यादा शुगर है। हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम टू येट अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ जीरोइंग विद किरण। और आज का एपिसोड सही मायने में बहुत ज्यादा खास है, क्योंकि मैं एक फाउंडर हूं जो एक इंडस्ट्री को एक बहुत ही अलग तरीके से, बहुत ही कस्टमर के हेल्थ को ध्यान में रखते हुए, उनके फूड प्रेफरेंसेस, उनके डाइटरी प्रेफरेंसेस को ध्यान में रखते हुए एक प्रोडक्ट बना रहा है। और आज इंडिया इज ऑन द कस्प ऑफ अ फूड रेवोल्यूशन where a lot of brands are making better for you products which have zero sugar, no maida, less palm oil and a ton of other things. एक चीज जो हम सबको खटक रही है वो ये है कि मार्केट में आज सही इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिल रही है, और उससे भी एक लेवल आगे जाओ तो मिस इंफॉर्मेशन ज्यादा रैम्पेंट है। पैकेज के पीछे क्या लिखा हुआ है, उसको किस तरीके से पढ़ना चाहिए, जो छपा है वो सही है या नहीं, एंड अ लॉट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स. This is a very common query which all of us have faced at some point of time whenever we are buying products from our most beloved brands. Today, to address that and a lot of other issues around food safety, packaging and nutritional information, we have Ashwin Bhadri, the founder of Equinox. अश्विन को मैं पिछले 8-10 सालों से जानता हूं, जब मेरे फैमिली बिजनेस में भी हम इनके प्रोडक्ट्स और इनके सर्विसेज यूज करते थे टेस्टिंग, न्यूट्रिशन और सब चीजों के लिए. बट he has been a pioneer in this industry with almost 2 decades of experience. उनका फैमिली बिजनेस रहा है वाटर ट्रीटमेंट में. He has grown up around that. He started Equinox in 2005 with a team of around 25 auditors, जो आज देश भर में 700 से भी ज्यादा ऑडिटर्स की टीम हो गई है. And he has more than 90,000 customers who regularly use his services for testing their food products and conforming to the safety standards of India. Ashwin, welcome to the show. Can you just quickly tell us what have you been doing at Equinox? How this ideas came to your mind that खाने पीने की चीजें को टेस्ट करना चाहिए, उसकी न्यूट्रिशन फैक्ट्स वगैरह सब सही से देखनी चाहिए in a country like India where it's so complicated, the regulatory. So just take us through your journey of Equinox.
So I studied computer science in UT Austin. उसके बाद I did a MBA in marketing from Macomb School of Business. I was the good son. I came back and जो मेरे पेरेंट्स का वाटर ट्रीटमेंट का बिजनेस था वो मैंने ज्वाइन किया. 6 महीना उसमें काम करने के बाद रियलाइज यार मेरे लिए नहीं है वो. सोचा I and when I was there, what happened was one of my friends had come to visit and he had just started a software company. And he wanted to pitch the software to my dad. So I got the intro done and meeting chal raha hai, and I got a client call, so mujhe nikalna. So I went down, I was taking my car out and I'm like, let me just call him and see, because he was rapping ba. Maybe मैं इसको छोड़ सकता हूँ. So मैंने एक बार कॉल किया, 2 बार कॉल किया, कॉल नहीं उठा रहा है. तो मैं भी अभी he must be still in the pitch. Right. जब मैंने गाड़ी निकाला, I'm leaving the building, I see him walking on the road. So I pull up the car next to him. I roll down the window. I'm shouting his name. I'm like, hey, but he get in the car. He's not responding. ऐसे ज़ोंबी की तरह चल रहा है. हाँ भाई. Maybe उसको business नहीं मिला. Maybe he's upset with me. So मैंने गाड़ी पार्क की. मैं उसके सामने गया. मैं से बड़ी क्या हुआ? He's just looking at me like this. I'm thinking, okay, something is wrong. So I literally I had to force him into the car. And I'm sitting in the car and with him. And he's just looking out the window like this. I realized that कुछ तो something is off. So I called up my then girlfriend, now wife. She's a doctor. And I asked her, what do I do? This was happening. So she gave me the weirdest advice I've heard from any doctor in my life. She said, slap it.
Slap it.
Slap it. Okay. Now, who am I to question the doctor? So I gave him a slap. She asked me a simple question. उसने वापस मारा. She like rushed him to the hospital. I said, what do you mean? You calling मस्ती कर रहा था? If you're doing masti, if I slap you, I want to go, you want to wallop me back.
Yeah.
I rushed him to the hospital, got him on the stretcher, and he started convulsing.
Wow.
You've seen this in movies.
Yeah.
TV पे देखते हैं.
Yeah.
सामने कभी देखा नहीं है. One of the scariest moments of my life, and I'm seeing a close friend of mine foaming from the mouth, shaking violently. They took him away. Next 5-6 hours, he was out. We saw him maybe rushed here and there. MRI के लिए लेके गए, ये क्या वो क्या. At शाम को फिर डॉक्टर आता है and we asked him क्या होता था. All बाकी friends had come. His parents were on the way. They were here from out of town. And we asked the doctor, क्या हुआ? They said कि हमको उसके ब्रेन में 3 worms मिली. Worms. Okay. Now, हमने सब सुना है वर्म्स स्टमक में वर्म्स मिलते हैं, बाहर आते हैं, कहाँ से तो बाहर निकल जाएंगे. ब्रेन में तो मैंने तो सुने नहीं थे. And that's when I found out कि we asked him, how does a person like this get worms in your brain? So there is a specific type of it's a worm that lays eggs. Leafy vegetables के पीछे वो eggs लेकर. जब ये vegetable बनाया जाता है into a salad, और वो धुआं नहीं जाता, these eggs enter your street. And when they travel to the brain, and the reason they travel to the brain is वहाँ पे कुछ उसको attack नहीं कर. Stomach में your stomach acids and other things that will attack it. Brain में there's nothing attacking it. So they go and sit in the brain. And then after I did a little bit more research, मुझे ये पता चला कि people like Leander Pace had the same situation, and it was a very common situation. And I was like, a person जो normally cigarette पीता है, दारू पीता है, कभी कभी एक salad खा लिया, और उसको ये हो गया. तब मुझे came to know the importance of food safety. And anyways, that time I was thinking, मैं क्या करूँ? I was thinking of starting a lab that did water testing. So we started Equinox Labs, जिसके अंदर हमने water testing चालू किया, food testing चालू किया. Because even before I started, when I was 18, one of my visions was that I want to improve water, food and air quality in India. फैमिली बिजनेस वाटर में था ही, तो आई थॉट वो रूट ले लूं. जब मैं लैब चालू करवा था तो वाटर भी क्या, फूड भी क्या, देयर आर फ्यू इयर्स लेटर वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग एयर टेस्टिंग आल्सो. सो द आइडिया दैट टाइम वाज देयर वाज नो रेगुलेशन व्हिच मैंडेटेड वाटर, फूड एंड एयर टेस्ट. वी स्टार्टेड देन. सो द फर्स्ट फ्यू वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि इफ आई केम टू यू एज अ रेस्टोरेंट एंड आई सेड आप टेस्टिंग करो, योर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी क्यों भाई, कोई लॉ तो नहीं है. वेयर आई रिमेंबर गोइंग टू 5 स्टार, आई डोंट नो नेम द 5 स्टार. And I remember sitting with the purchase manager there and saying, he said, अरे हमारे तो फ्री करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारा नाम आपके लिस्ट में आएगा तो आपको बाकी के clients on. हाँ. I said, that's not how I operate. Today, by the way, the entire chain is our client, and we charge a full price. No discount. 2x now. Not really. But I realized that when this incident happened, I realized the importance of food safety and the impact it has on. So that's where I started focusing a lot more on food, water, air, तो कर ही रहे हैं. But food today touches all our lives in so many different ways, right? Every day, and it has such a big impact on our quality of life, along with water and air. We are all aware of air, abhi kya ho raha hai bahar, right? So all these three things are so close to our quality of life, our longevity of life depends on all of this. So I thought that if we're able to do something good, isme, I think we would have achieved something good in this world.
And you said water treatment is something which was your family bliss, right? और तो वहां से आपको एक बेस मिला होगा.
Correct.
And from there you went into food, and now you said you are doing air and weather.
Right.
I think the biggest challenge at that point of time, as you said, there was no regulatory requirement for somebody to do, right?
Correct.
And आप ये charitable तो कर नहीं रहे, मतलब आपको तो this is like a revenue model for you, right? So one is, how did you go about first developing the test? Because if you don't have a reference framework कि ये सारे, आज for example back of the pack में मुझे पता है कि ये 12 parameters लिखने हैं, ये लिखने हैं. So in the absence of such legal guidance, like how did you develop these are the tests which are required? And second, then how did you go about convincing, चलो 5 star तो एक बात हो गई, right? But रेवेन्यू तो आएगा आपके जब आप मेन स्ट्रीम में जाओगे, मेन स्ट्रीम एफएनबी के पास जाओगे, तो वो आपने कैसे कराया?
So first is there was no standard for testing.
Yeah.
So I came up to the standard for testing. What do I mean by that? IS Indian standard here. There is a drinking water. Okay? So my first SFD developer was drinking water. Drinking water, okay, there is a standard. It's called IS 10500, which is the potable drinking water standard in the country. दैट इज लाइक 85-88 पैरामीटर्स। कोई इतना करने वाला नहीं, 10-12 हजार रुपए के टेस्ट है, कोई करने वाला नहीं। सो उसमें से आई स्टार्टेड सीइंग कि व्हाट आर द मोस्ट simple parameters which can be simply tested and also give you a very good indicator of is your water good or not. कि ये ठीक है, there is a very good chance बाकी का ठीक है ना. This understanding I had, by the way, because I came from water treatment background, so उतना मुझे understanding था. Applied that, came up with a very simple 18 parameter test, which today has become industry standard. Today everyone says water potability, they will be referring to 80 parameters which we developed 20 years ago.
And it's still those 80 parameters.
It is still the 80 parameter. The basic water potability is the same. Right? The second one was, you said, how did you survive? How did you grow? So when I went to food companies, all of them threw me out. So I had 6 months runway. I had a choice, either बंद करो या कुछ तो अलग करो. I started going to Malad, जहाँ पे all the BPOs had started.
Yeah.
पूरा belt BPOs का belt है. There I started giving free lectures on importance of water testing, importance of food testing, and how it affects productivity, how law नहीं है. One client gave me an opportunity, then a second one, then a third one, then a fourth one. So for the first almost 4-5 years, 95% of our business was corporate. So this was a very clear blue ocean strategy in action, because everyone else was running behind food businesses.
Yeah.
You know, the other labs are not catering to food business. We were the first lab to focus on corporates. Like today also, we hold a very large pie in that share, for a simple reason, and we started first. And we have a very dedicated focused on corporates. Things got serious around food when FSSAI, because before FSSAI, there was a law called PFA, Prevention of Food Adulteration.
Yeah.
There's nothing about safety. कि food adulterate नहीं होना चाहिए, milk adulterate नहीं होना चाहिए, spices adulterate नहीं होना चाहिए. That was the focus. Penalties were 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees. Were the penalties. So the normal penalty was 1000. बस you care about 1940 का 42 का रेगुलेशन है, प्री इंडिपेंडेंस का रेगुलेशन है, वही बड़ा है. Maybe I think वो 20 रुपया था, 100 रुपया था, right? So it didn't have any teeth. When FSSAI came, FSSAI was the first time where the country showed up that we are taking food safety seriously.
Which year?
This was in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. 2009 and 2011 के बीच में, so all this FSSAI, the Food Safety Standard Act, came on to 2006, and then afterwards it became FSSAI as a body was on.
Yeah.
Right? From like, back in the second or third year of its creation, I started working closely with it and helping whichever way I can. I remember there was a very funny regulation that they brought, saying that every food business should have a qualified food technologist.
Yeah. I remember.
This concept they took from FDA का जो है हर chemist shop में qualified chemist होना चाहिए. But I think somebody did not calculate कि India में कि technologies कितने हैं और food businesses कितने हैं.
Yeah.
Do you know how skewed the number was? So we did a basic rough calculation. Each food technologist would have to hold 53.5 jobs.
53, 1:53. Wow.
To be able to satisfy this goal. I remember one of the first letters I wrote to FSSAI was harping on this. कि भाई आप ये rule ला रहे हो,
तो relax करो भाई.
क्या है ये? They took it out. They said, okay, they're removing a few conditions and all. Yes, now today also under the new updated regulations, you need to have a trained supervisor. There's a new thing called FOSTAC, which is Food Safety Training and Certification. So for every 25 people, you need a trained supervisor. There's no top or education background. Can be 10 standards also doesn't matter as long as he's trained. All right. So what I realized with FSSAI was that if you want to upgrade the country's law, instead of trying to educate people on the ground, you can actually start right from the top. Hence, associating with FSSAI allowed me that freedom a little bit, I can present my thoughts, and if accepted, they can become down the line variation.
But tell me one thing. So, FOSTAC, so for example, I've been in the ice cream business for 15 plus years, and we have been regularly doing FOSTAC trainings for our team. लेकिन जब मैं FSSAI की guidelines पढ़ता हूँ for plant and operations, so they have a list of degrees. I would remember all of them, like food technology probably is one of them.
Correct.
But there are a list of degrees.
Correct.
उसमें से कोई तो एक आपके पास प्लांट के अंदर होना चाहिए.
When you are having a central license, you'll have a few more regulations.
Yeah.
But if you have a normal license, they cannot implement that regulation for the simple reason that army नहीं है.
And what is the difference between a central license and a normal license?
Sector license is when you're doing about, I think, 20 tons and more. And you'll need a central license. And if you're operating multiple states,
Okay.
you need a central license.
20 tons annually or multiple?
Multiple states, and if you're doing e-commerce.
While you're doing e-commerce.
So any of these, or if you're working for a government institute, there are a few more caveats. But when you fall under that, you need to operate a central license.
और स्टेट लाइसेंस या रेगुलर लाइसेंस जो है वो है.
So there is it starts with something called as registration, which is for, and if your revenue is less than 12 lakhs per annum, they're called petty vendors.
हाँ.
Petty vendor is 100 rupee का registration है. 2 minute में हो जाता है. Your fridge is registered on the website. Or you can go to FDFP or register on the website. If you're above 12 lakhs and below, let's say 20 crores in revenue, then you can go for a state license. And above that, you need for a central.
So this is very interesting. You are saying 12 lakhs per annum.
Yes.
That is 1 lakh per month.
Yes. Or that's a petty vendor, na? You're a small business. They're a very small business.
आज हम लोग जनरली ऐसे कभी भी बाहर खाने जाते हैं, पानी पूरी, स्ट्रीट साइड.
He makes one.
और आप बोल रहे हो कि अगर आपका धंधा 12 लाख साल का है तो 100 रुपए में आपका काम हो जाएगा. What exactly is the validity of these kind of licenses, or how much is the consumer protected with somebody who is having a 100 rupee license, which is petty cash?
Honestly, they're not good at it.
Yeah.
It is just giving some very basic traceability. It is not giving any kind of protection. Now, something that I have been asking FSSAI is, if you're going to issue a license to someone, there needs to be somebody qualified, either from FSSAI, and I know for a fact that they don't have the people, bandwidth to pull it off, or an agency that they've asked for has to go audit office. Because see, today I can start an ice cream brand from my house.
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping me.
Yeah.
अरे मेरा घर कोई फ्लैट है कहाँ पे या कोई झोपड़ा है.
हाँ. और फैमिली फ्रेंड से तो मैं 1 लाख तो निकाल लूँ
आराम से. Right? My point is, so the other day I was talking to somebody who makes gelato, right? And she told me that there is a very popular brand that does hand churned ice cream.
Yeah.
So before she started, she's like, let me go and check kahan pe hai. So she saw the dress and she landed up at the place. So she's like, it was inside almost like a hut. And she let me open the door. There were 2 giant blue containers, वो जो होते हैं ना जिसमें केमिकल भरा.
Yeah.
कंटेनर.
Yeah.
जिसके अंदर आदमी ऊपर खड़ा है and
हाथ से literally hand
churned. I said, so as a joke, I said once it, they were not lying. When they said hand churned, they were not lying.
using hand to churn.
Hand to churn it, right? Obviously, that's not what is supposed to be. It's supposed to be hand churned in the thing.
Correct.
But yet, things like this exist. So one of the bigger challenges that the industry is facing today is dark kitchens, dark stores, where a customer is never going to go. Yeah, many a time an FSSAI official, FD official doesn't end up reaching it. उसको license मिल गया, उन्होंने operation चालू कर दिया.
Yeah.
There is no oversight कि यहाँ पे क्या चल. So having, especially when you're starting a new license, having an audit trail, I think should be a very basic thing, and this happens in most countries. There is a basic audit, food safety officer आएगा, 5 मिनट खर्च करेगा, अरे क्या infra है, is it covered, do you have dustbins, a very basic thing. I'm not saying अरे 200 point का checklist लेके audit करो. There should be some audit, and in today's day and age, that audit should be recorded. If this one step is about it, then overall country का जो food safety का culture है थोड़ा सा change होने वाले, because today people do all kinds of naughty things for a simple reason. they know यार कोई आने वाला आगे होते ओहो के क्या होगा, बल्ब दर देंगे मुझे, ठीक है तब तक मैं बनाता.
तो जो फेरिये वाला होता है ना, वो तो अपनी फेरी लेके इस गली से दूसरी गली चला जाएगा, या मे बी घाटकोपर वेस्ट से घाटकोपर ईस्ट चला जाएगा, ठीक है. बट इन अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया, एंड so I worked in Singapore for 3 years, in PNG, and then in 2014 I came back to India, and we were setting up our stores. And for almost 40 years before that, my family had one store in South Bombay, right? So everything was clean. They had good rapport with the authorities in that area, neighborhood, and everything. Now, here's a guy who's come from Singapore, where the law of the land is so clear, and everything is followed to the T. And now suddenly I'm scouting for locations outside of South Bombay, and the first thing that I'm faced with is the laundry list of licenses that I will require to start the business. तो फसाई तो आ गया था, तो फसाई लेना है. Then there's some BMC license, then there is a fire license. Even though वी वर एन आइसक्रीम पार्लर एंड देयर वाज नो हीटिंग या कुछ भी नहीं था, लेकिन एक फायर लाइसेंस, उसके बाद एक हेल्थ लाइसेंस, 5 लोग के ऊपर है तो गुमास्ता, ऑल ऑफ इट्स लाइक देयर लॉन्ड्री लिस्ट. लाइक आई वाज लाइक कहाँ से जाऊं, लाइक ठीक है, आई सेड लेट्स डू इट, लेट्स गो एंड अप्लाई फॉर दिस लाइसेंस. तो मैं गया फुल जोश के साथ, सारे ऑफिसर्स के कहाँ पे जाना है, तो ये के वार्ड में होता है, ये इस वार्ड में होता है, यहाँ पर. तो 1 महीना तो मैं पहले फिगर आउट करने के लिए किधर किधर क्या क्या अप्लाई कर. देन यू अप्लाई, देन दे गिव यू अ लिस्ट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स फॉर सपोर्टिंग, जिसमें से आधे आपके पास अवेलेबल नहीं है क्योंकि अभी तक शॉप चालू नहीं हुआ, राइट. All of this made me realize one important pain point. Like, to do business in India, there is a lot of red tape through which we'll have to cut. Now, what you are suggesting here is that with this license, you should also have an audit. Do you think it will not kind of reinforce back that audit है, अगर तुमको license चाहिए तो तुमको मेरे को under the table ये देना पड़ेगा.
So this is where privatization of audit helps.
So it should not be through some government.
I think definitely there should be a private body, and I'll give you a very good example of this. There was an event in Hyderabad where I sat with the CEO of FSSAI, old. This is like almost 10 plus years ago. And I had the privilege of having lunch with. So then I discussed this problem, and we were discussing food safety and implementation of it in India and so on and so forth. So I told him very well, I said, sir, we discuss all of this. On ground, you know what happens there. So he gave me a very weird, but a very interesting insight into how government operates. He said, Ashwin, I know very well that ground level corruption. मुझे मालूम है. I know also भाई वो officer कुछ ले. So मालूम नहीं. I said, then sir, if do something. So he said, Ashwin, you know how it operates. Suppose मुझे complaint आया and I found out that this guy is corrupt. What do I have to do? I can't fire him. I have to place him on leave. I have to suspend him. But when an official is suspended, he gets half his salary. This is what he told. I'm not going to verify this. Yeah. He said, I have to give him half his salary. Means half year. And the inquiry takes about a year. So, घर बैठेगा. उसको
1 साल तक घर बैठेगा,
घर बैठेगा, half salary मिल रहा है.
हाँ.
1 साल के बाद, some official will come, then will be an inquiry that will happen on him. क्या proof है? Proof तो कुछ है ही नहीं. So he'll get a green check. Now we have to reimburse him back his full salary. क्योंकि कुछ मिला नहीं. So if I suspend somebody, it's like giving somebody a 1-year vacation, paid vacation. He's like, now you understood. So then I gave him a counter. I said, sir, I understand that you're a handler also. So I told him, sir, if you allow third-party agencies to audit for you, and if there's a case of corruption, first of all, agency is going to take care because their agency has today, let's say 10, 20, 100 auditors. उसमें से एक auditor corrupt. If I find the corrupt auditor, what am I going to do? Am I going to do suspension? Out, fire, gone. Yeah. He's out the next day. I don't have a big process. He's not a government. Yeah. Two, and the reason I'm doing that is what? I want to protect my full revenue in the business. If I find one bad actor, he's out. Two, if government finds a bad actor, I'm a bad actor. You kick my full agency out. Correct. It is such a clean way of doing business. It's like running it like a corporate, right? Run this whole thing like a corporate. Today, by the way, they apply the same logic to training. By the way, FASTag का training, कौन कर रहा है? Private agencies कर रही. One, I think my biggest contribution to FASTag is not the training materials you develop for them. You develop also training materials come from us. It is not that. It is the fact that I was able to convince the then CEO to make this a public-private partnership. Because he was like, oh, FSSAI will train. I said, sir, आप 10,000 don't take any offense, but you're not trained at all. वो दिखाने के लिए number होगा. Allow public-private partnership. I gave him a full 1-hour presentation on क्या, क्यों, क्या. Today, there are 200 training partners, plus we are also one of them, right? There are more than 2,000 trainers trained by FSSAI who are either freelancing or employed with companies. And we have trained collectively, over 20 lakh food safety supervisors through a public-private partnership. It is one of the most successful public-private partnerships. Achha, all of this, somebody would have done some India में, इसने तो कुछ किया होगा. क्या है? अरे, नहीं हुआ नहीं, certificate issue कर दिया फंड का. Now there are measures in place that partner has been offboarded, trainer has been offboarded, assessor उसको offboard कर दिया. It's so simple because it's a third part, right? When government has these restrictions, there is a way to work, but there go intent होना चाहिए कि वही करना है.
The whole thing will start and end with the intent of the government. एक बार intent मिलता है and the people at the helm green light something that can be done. Because I remember few years back, so one way is to do through bigger entities like Equinox or similar, big companies. But I think जो स्मॉल बिजनेसेस होते हैं या जो जस्ट अपकमिंग बिजनेसेस होते हैं, उनको ऐसे फ्रीलांस कंसल्टेंट मिल जाते हैं जो आके आपको बोलते हैं दैट वी आर फसाई accredited, we have taken this many hours of फसाई ट्रेनिंग, so we are equipped to give you and your team the ट्रेनिंग। आपके पास थप्पा आ जाएगा, कल को उठ के कोई फसाई ऑफिसर आएगा तो आप बोल सकते हो कि हमने हमने यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग ली है। बट द थिंग दैट आई फाउंड फैसिनेटिंग वाज ऑलवेज दे यूज्ड टू एंड विथ, अगर उसके बाद भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ ना तो हम है। सो द मोमेंट दे एंड विथ दिस लाइन, it sends some signal to that business is that there is always going to be some loophole which somebody is going to try to exploit it, right? I think this is probably one of the big concerns which people feel कि मैं कितना भी करूँ, मैं 100% compliant कभी भी नहीं होऊंगा, बिकॉज एक तो मेरे को इतना बड़ा फसाई मैनुअल पढ़ने को नहीं आता है कि उसमें क्या है क्या नहीं है। दूसरा, अगर मैं इस पे ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट करूंगा ना तो माय बिजनेस विल नॉट ग्रो। सो वी वांट टू काइंड ऑफ फोकस ऑन ग्रोइंग द बिजनेस, हैंडल इट एज इट कम्स, not worry about okay, am I 100% compliant? As long as I'm 80-90% compliant, not too many loopholes, I'll live with it and let the consultant will take care of what it is. For example, आज GoZero के almost 120 dark stores हैं. Wow. Now we require FSI licenses on each of those dark stores. Plus I require FSI license on each of my manufacturing unit. Plus I require FSI licenses on each of my warehouses. That's almost 150 licenses. I need to have one consultant who is going to kind of day in, day out, then there is some query, some this, sir, क्या पे बिल सही नहीं है, यहाँ पे एड्रेस मिसमैच हुआ है, तो लूपहोल्स कुछ ना कुछ आते रहेगा। सो आई थिंक वी काइंड ऑफ एलोकेट सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ आवर मंथली टर्नओवर है, भाई इसमें से ये चलाते रहो ताकि लीगली कुछ भी आए, आगे का भी ऑडिट हो, बिकॉज वी आर फंडेड कंपनी, वी नीड टू सेव आवर इन्वेस्टर्स एज वेल, सो वी नीड टू कीप दैट। सो अश्विन, व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड इक्विनॉक्स, टेस्टिंग में तो कुछ ज्यादा फोकस था नहीं। FSI came in 2009, 2011, right? So I think from there it started picking on. But let's say if I'm an MNC and I've already, have some global standards of testing, compliance, why does it happen that जब मैं इंडिया में बिजनेस करने आता हूँ ना, तो मैं उसको थोड़ा सा पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट लेके करता हूँ, even though the same brand selling in other countries has some really gold standard of testing and compliances. Like couple of example, and I think you can throw some more light on it. ये जो मैगी का पूरा इंसिडेंट हुआ था ना 2015 में, जब उनके पैकेट्स टेस्ट किए गए थे और उसके अंदर जो लेड का कंटेंट था, इट वाज फाउंड 7 times more than permissible limit. मैगी इज समथिंग विच किड्स एंजॉय, लाइक बचपन में कितना मैगी खाया है, स्टूडेंट्स इन हॉस्टल्स काइंड ऑफ दे सर्वाइव ऑन मैगी, सच अ स्टेपल food, और उसमें इस तरीके का एक लैप्स हुआ and then you had to kind of ban for such a long period of time. Then the other common thing which we have started seeing recently is that, for example, Cerelac, which is a baby food brand, तो उसका इंडियन फॉर्मुलेशन देखो ना, तो उसका शुगर का लेवल, और उसके जो यूरोपियन वर्जन है उसके शुगर के लेवल, लेज चिप्स, उसमें आप इंडियन वाला वर्जन देखो तो उसमें कितना पाम ऑयल है, और दूसरे कंट्रीज में जो लेज बिक रहा है उसमें कितना पाम ऑयल है। सो I think somewhere doesn't all of this also come under the purview of FSI, that the brands which are selling globally, doing really well, are entering India? Why are we not enforcing them to bring the same global safety standards and set example, by the way? And FSI work together with them rather than working as a watchdog, because you have done this in so many countries globally. You tell us how to go about this and don't find loophole in our regulatory and then you kind of cash it on जिस दिन पकड़े गए उस दिन ठीक है, we'll reformulate. Why is that?
So, if you want, I think you take a step back to understand there कि FSSAI structure कैसे है. FSSAI का regulations when they were set, we took some best practices from some countries, but somewhere यार कि India में basic water quality is a little lower, so they have to allow for some slippage then, right? When this whole Maggi incident happened, there was a shopper for the entire industry.
अरे Nestle is doing this, भाई Nestle का मैगी में ये तो बाकी का कैसे?
My question was very simple, and I was on BBC for this very reason.
Yeah.
I was like, do you think Nestle is taking lead and sprinkling it on their food?
Like
Obviously, jaan masala hai, magic masala to not have it. It is coming from somewhere.
yeah.
Now, Nestle as a company does more testing than most other Indian.
Yeah.
At least expected. It's a multinational, so they follow multinational standards of safely.
Yeah.
When this whole incident happened, and the reason I kept talk about it openly is Nestle wasn't that bad. If I can talk about this incident, right? If I was a client, I couldn't go so much there. And I'm seeing all this unfold. And I know what Nestle does. I was like, yeah, you have a truckload of testing reports. If I was handling Nestle, I would have sent that entire truck to FSA. Because here are my last 10 years ka testing reports for my water, for my raw material, for my FG, everything, they yellow. Check on them. They did not do that. So they should have had a lot more transparency with FSSAI, which they did not do. Right? Two, their claim, and I think they claimed it only once and they did not go deeper in these. The way the sample was tested was incorrect. What was tested? The masala packet was tested direct. Now the masala packet in Maggi is not like pan masala ki you can just eat like this. It is supposed to be mixed with water and then diluted down so much, right? Now that has some amount of lead, which was permissible by law. So if I reconstituted Maggi, that lead would have been permissible by law. So again, they had not broken the rule because their final product complied with our regulation.
Yeah.
So did Cerelac. India allowed baby food to have sugar. By the way, baby food had sugar globally.
Yeah.
EU said, hey, if it is not required, it should be removed. Well, clean eating wala concept. EU said, hey, you have 6 months, 1 year to remove this thing. All brands say,
When you say not required from what standpoint? Nutrition
Not-
standpoint,
yeah,
taste
not
standpoint,
nutrition.
Nutrition.
Not nutrition. It's not adding to baby's nutrition. It's not.
Yeah.
Baby doesn't require that sugar by be there. Yeah, right? The minute
it also makes it tasty, right? Because at the end of the day, baby को अगर tasty खाना नहीं मिलेगा तो नहीं खाएगा.
Correct.
So some amount of sugar so that makes it more palatable.
But वहाँ का regulation said zero. So what Cerelac and all the other global players did is in EU, they quickly formulated, they had to reformulate, and they went to CA. While their plan was, okay, since we're doing it here, we'll do it globally, but that rollout was very slow. And the minute this discrepancy was seen, it became public news that, oh my God, same, यहाँ पे वही इतना है. Now they had a plan, which was, over the next 3-4 years, we will do it for India and other countries also. But they never released that plan. Many a times, if you have good intent and if you have good ideas and good thoughts, share it with your consumers so that there is clarity, right? The bigger
I'm surprised because just like these people have so many in-house testing, team and all of that, they also have a PR arm where both should work hand in hand. कि अगर testing team ये decide के globally reformulate करके roll out करेंगे, PR should kind of actively start seeding this in consumers' mind in the other countries.
Yes.
वो भी नहीं हुआ.
nahi. Now, that could be because European countries are more measured. They will not turn everything into marketing.
Yeah.
But I think somewhere you should. Because one of the success mantras I give most founders who I talk to a lot of food founders, is you need to look at investments in quality as an investment and not as an expense. So any money which is being spent towards quality, towards testing, towards anything that is improving quality, maintaining quality and improving quality, then maintaining it, should be made public because then it becomes an investment. If you do all of this, and you keep it in a folder in your desk or in your desktop, now it's an expense because it's not adding to your top line.
Yeah.
Right? Today, if you see, all fast-growing brands are using quality as their differentiator. Right? Today, most brands, like for example, the simplest example I use is McDonald's. If you go to McDonald's, anywhere you go, quality is never on your mind. You will go there because you know they're safer. Do McDonald's make the best tasting burgers in the country? Or no, they don't. Right? They're way more local joints, much more flavorful and all. But when you're planning internationally, while you may try this, if you're with kids, you'll go to McDonald's, you'll go to Burger King, because you know you're going to get consistent taste, consistent quality. I've never fallen in love by eating a McDonald's. Yeah, right. But now that's become their brand. So when this whole incident happened with Nestle, with Cerelac, there was an issue with MDH and all of these, right? The challenge is that our country needs to have a high standard. There needs to be consistency in enforcing that standard, right? And there has to be consumer awareness around this. Because if these three things are not there, none of this is going to be successful. You're never going to be able to raise made in India into a global thing. Right? Now, do you know what happened when this whole MDH issue happened? Made in India food, now suddenly came under the scanner. Even though it was one little thing for one little product in Singapore and Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken, right? But the global news picked it up as, oh, things from India are now considered low quality, they're not doing best. It was one thing that happened, right? So if we want to make made in India, especially in the food space, to be a global benchmark, then we have to start investing in our quality systems. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough road.
And like on that note, investing in quality system, but I think it will also need to be drilled down by the watchdogs, FSSAI, because today the reality is that we are a country of 125 million diabetics and an equal number of pre-diabetics, right? We have the youngest workforce, like that's probably our asset, but that same workforce is also susceptible to lifestyle disease.
Correct.
Post-COVID, there are a lot of very stress, health-related, which is why you now see this whole segment of better for you foods, Visual being one of them. कि ये सब में हम खाना पीना अच्छी तरह से जीना छोड़ तो नहीं देंगे, but now brands are kind of giving you better options, which is why now testing probably becomes all the more important. Now if a brand claims zero sugar, is it actually zero sugar? If it's adding the sugar substitute, is that substitute safe enough? Or is it doing more damage probably than the sugar itself? There was a global outrage against aspartame use, which is actually more
Harmful.
Harmful. Who is selling this? So a lot of myths also around. So whenever then India is, or the global is on the cusp of a step change in the way products are made, I think doesn't the regulatory kind of have to take the initiative versus, okay, let the issue come to a certain level, then we will it done.
So, regulatory body should set standards, but making people aware of, hey, there's an alternate available, finally will come down to industry. You can't expect that FSSAI will go campaign that, arey, polyols are good or they are not as harmful as you are saying. That finally comes down to industry. What FSSAI will say, hey, this is what is allowed, this is what is not allowed, right? Over time, FSSAI can become more stringent.
Yeah.
That's what they can do. I don't think it is the government's job to go and educate people on what are the alternatives available. That onus, I think, fairly lies on the innovators of the industry.
So, Ashwin, on this entire better for you and so many brands, including O0, are kind of trying to come up with products which can solve for taste along with health. But अगर आप देखोगे तो primarily it has come down to three main villains of the ingredient industry. सबसे पहला है sugar. तो sugar तो खैर should not come as a surprise because we have been a country of so many diabetics. Historically we have kind of globally number one रहे हैं. So it's like दे रहा है दुरुस्त है for the sugar industry. But there are two more. One is मैदा, refined flour, and third is palm oil. तो अब ये तीन मेन विलन बन चुके हैं कि अगर किसी भी प्रोसेस्ड पैकेज फूड और इवन इफ आई एम गोइंग आउट या घर पे भी मैं खाना बना रहा हूँ और खा रहा हूँ, ये तीन जितना कम हो सके मुझे उसमें डाल रहे, राइट? एंड ऑफ कोर्स व्हाइल दी होल R&D विल बी अराउंड कि अगर इनके बदले जो डाल रहे हैं हम, आर दे सेफर, आर दे बेटर, आर दे जेन्युइनली बेटर एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. But what does this mean in terms of the overall testing of the product? Because historically, we have always tested for sugar and added sugar, for example. Now, if my sugar is not there, but I am adding, let's say, a polyol or a phos, so testing में क्या changes होगा मेरे लिए, like as a brand? And second, how does a consumer now look at the back of pack and be more assured that what this brand is giving me is better than what I was having sugar, मैदा या palm oil का?
So I think one good thing is today social media, mass media has played a very large role in educating people on how these three things are not the best for you, when there are better alternatives, and how these three things can deteriorate your health over time, right? Now there are alternatives for sugar. So let's double click on that for a minute. As you said, I have FOS there. Okay? So whenever a company is using FOS or any other ordinary sugar, and from a testing perspective, the method actually changes.
Yeah.
Now, which becomes a problem for us because when a company comes to us, we can't ask you upfront, aap kya dal? Technically not the right thing for us to do. So what we do is we would use the normal testing method. Normal test karo the sugar ka, driest method diya hai. Reading galat hai. And it will not match. You are like, should have been 2, how you will be reporting petty, how you will put 10. when we ask you, okay, have you added organic sugar? You say yes, for Saturday. There is an HPLC method. We can actually break down all the sugars. So the method changes. There is a method which is more accurate, which is more, it breaks down all the sugars, albeit slightly more expensive because it's run on a very expensive machine. And it's a little bit for laborious. So that method will break down all of this for you. All the 5 sugars will be broken, right? When it comes to things like maida, when it comes to things like palm oil, testing for maida is not a thing. You can't test for maida. So that's the onus stuff falls back on the manufacturer that if you're doing no maida as a claim, you need to ensure that you're not adding maida. So if somebody comes and audits your kitchen, they can't find maida lying around. Say if you're making a no palm oil claim, which many restaurants have started paying, who's going to check ki palm oil packet? But if you take a combination of refractive index and a couple of other things, you can actually figure out is this palm oil or not. Because again, every oil will have a refractive index, will have so many other smoke point, so many other things which they overlap. So if you give me something and say, is this palm oil or not? It's very different. If you say, oh, does this match the specifications of palm oil? I can give you yes or no. But the specifications also overlap other oils.
For some other oils.
Right? So there are very couple of things that which will kind of give you indicator cases palm oil or not. So from a testing perspective, it can be a little tricky. But the onus of all of this again comes back to the food companies. Boss, are you adding this? Yes, no. If you're adding it, are you communicating it with plants? If you are not adding palm oil, if you are not adding sugar, you're adding alternative, you need to communicate that as clearly and as visibly as possible, maybe front of pack, right? Because today, the customer is a lot more educated than you.
And is there any guidelines? What goes on front of pack or what should be on the front of pack? What should be on the back of pack? Uspe guidelines kya hai?
So at this moment, there are some very basic guidelines for front of pack. And it is not the FOPL that we have all been waiting for, which is a front of pack labeling.
Yeah.
वो जो 5-star आने वाला है या ABCB जो भी आने वाला है, right? That is still not mandated in the country. And that is going to come very soon. Maybe in the next 6 months to 1 year, you will start seeing that already. However, back of pack, there are mandated requirements by FSSAI, right? Basic nutrition information has to be there. You have to have a shelf life. Both of these have to be tested from an illegal accredited or an FSI notified lab. 2, you have to have ingredients in descending order. So the one that is the highest concentration has to be on top and descending down. You have to have manufacturer's information. You have to have marketed by, manufactured by, but sometimes it is different. You can't, you will just be like, okay, mera brand does, I don't want to expose where it is manufactured. No longer, you have to be, you have to kind of show where it is manufactured. And there are a few other mandatory requirements as well. But one of the simplest and one of the clearest ones is if you're making any kind of a claim, example, if you're saying no added sugar, you need to test for all of this and make sure that there's no added sugar, right? If you're saying no gluten or gluten free, you have to test for gluten and make sure it is gluten free. So FSSAI is now asking
high fiber, for example.
Exactly. You have to then test for fiber and have a very clear guideline. Okay, this is higher than this and there's a study behind.
Yeah.
The funny part is when you make ingredient claims, it's easier to verify. But now if you make claims which are like gives more energy.
Compared to what?
So many people come to us say, we want to claim this, can you test for it? No, we can't. I can test for calories. I can test for fat, protein, carbs, vitamins. But I can't stamp and say, yes, you can write, give me more energy. Now, if you're making any claim of that nature, good for diabetes patient, I can't give you green chit on that. You have to go do a proper study, which is almost like a pharmaceutical mix.
Interesting because we have other brands in this category. So I keep studying their back of pack also. अगर एक हमारा कॉम्पिटिटर था, मैं भी नाम नहीं लूंगा, जिसने क्लेम किया था 25% लेस शुगर. Okay. Now, just like you said, more energy. This less 25% less sugar is also very dicey claim.
Correct.
Okay. Because whenever you're saying X% less or Y% more, there has to be some reference.
Correct.
Right? अगर मैं FSSAI guidelines देखूंगा, तो X% more protein is a valid claim because in ice cream, FSSAI has given a guideline for how much protein per 100 grams. तो अगर 3.5 ग्राम जो प्रोटीन आपके पास होना चाहिए बेयर मिल्क, तो मैं बेयर मिल्क को अगर गाइडलाइन रखूंगा और फिर मैं 7 ग्राम प्रोटीन डालता हूँ, आई कैन से 2x मोर प्रोटीन. देयर इज नो गाइडलाइन फॉर शुगर इन द आईसीपी. सो इफ FSSAI इज नॉट टेलिंग यू कितना शुगर मिनिमम या मैक्सिमम या कुछ भी है, वो परसेंटेज अप या डाउन का बेंचमार्क क्या है आपका?
So many people will use some product in the industry as a benchmark,
as a reference.
I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Very fine. 2, there is something that I have been proposing, which I'm getting a lot of flack for at this moment. However, I know jaise we progress as a country, in the future people will thank me for it. Any brand making any sort of a claim needs to submit a justification to FSSAI. Because as a body, there has to be some control. Right? If somebody saying cures cancer, cures this, vitamin
I can already sense the founder in me squirming at the thought of this.
But here's the fun part. I know exactly what all you do. You have nothing to worry about. You're already doing everything you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Correct? You just want to submit to FSSAI saying, hey, if I'm saying this, why I'm giving. ये document है, इसके वजह से मैं देगा. Right? But today FSSAI has no control on this. If somebody is making a claim, but there is a validation for this claim. Right? This will make the country safer once the regulatory watchdog is aware of these things. And the minute you have to submit it, now you'll also be a lot more careful. You'll also be like, all founders will be like, okay, before I make this claim, let me make sure it is proper because I'm submitting it to government. Normally what happens, I कुछ बना रहा हूँ, हाँ ठीक है, मैं कोई देखने वाला है. But the minute after submit it, automatically, like when you file your ID return, we double check everything, right? Because you don't want to or somebody.
In fact, I was, in my head that immediately that analogy with IT return came. ठीक है? जब हम IT returns भर रहे होते हैं, 50 चीजें दिखा ली होती है कि भाई exemption इतना था, आपका ये कुछ deduction था, PPF में कुछ था, ये था, वो था, correct? But the fact is today, more than, or I mean, only up to 10 or 20% of the returns are actually filed with the correct data. 80% में queries आती और वो queries कब आती है मुझे नहीं पता. So one thing is मैंने ये सब intimate करके data upload करके दे दिया, सब हो गया. अब a brand like GoZero or in general any food brand, like we have some innovation in the market, we launch it. For some reason नहीं चलता है तो मैं उसको 6 महीने बाद उसको रोल बैक कर देता हूँ. But when I submitted that data, the data went to FSSAI. Now for some reason after a year they will come back saying that, oh please show me document for this. I say यार अब तो मैंने 2 महीने 3 महीने डिस्काउंट भी कर दिया है. So is it not adding more unnecessary transactions with FSSAI than making my life easy?
Not really. Now, if you're serving food, whatever was regulatory requirement, आपने क्या होगा? Example, nutrition test क्या होगा? Chef F क्या होगा?
Yeah.
Those reports will be digitally available. Now, for example, anyone who works with us, all reports are kept on a portal for 5 years. So even after 4.5 years, you come back and say, "Bhai, मुझे 2021 का मुझे the reports."
And is it a FSSAI requirement that you should keep testing reports for 5 years?
No.
Or is it something
They have, by the way, not given you a requirement that way. But the best practice there, what the basic regulation would be, keep it for the shelf life of your sample plus 2 months. Is the industry norm. What we do is we keep it 5 years online.
data? Yeah.
It's not costing you as much to keep us there. So we keep it for all our customers. We keep all our data for 5 years. Accessible on a portal. You click and download. You don't have to call us, right? But today that information is already available. So making, like if tomorrow a query comes, if you already submitted, there will be no query only because what is FSSAI going to ask you? If you've given a claim, you उसका report upload करो. और क्या मांगने वाला है? They're not going to ask you for something very complex. When this comes in, the fact that this is going to come in at some point, I know it's going to come in because as we advance, that is the next logical step. By the way, this is there in most other countries. This is there. If any new formulation, let's say any new company is coming up with a dairy formulation, the amount of rigor testing that has to happen before the product goes to market is 10 times more than what any other country, like India requires. Because they're giving it to babies whose defenses are low.
Yeah.
You have to. So anything that is considered high risk has to be rigorously tested. And if somebody says, oh, the cost of testing is too high. Boss, you are feeding an infant. You can't take chances. Right? If it's too high, either figure out how to recover money. Or if you're not able to fund it, don't get into that business.
Even pet food, for example, like pet industry is like one of the most fastest growing industry. Then pets can't speak. तो वो खाके उसपे क्या?
There are not too many regulations around pet.
Yeah.
There are not too many regulations. But here's the fun part. We have seen in the last 4 years, pet food growing in double-digit % growth, even when there's no regulation. And I actually ended up talking to a brand that's doing testing, and they were testing every batch. And I was like, while that's good for me, thanks. But why are you doing it? He said, no, I'm sending this to every pet parent.
Yeah.
One very simple analogy that has changed, or one word that has changed the entire psyche. 15 years ago, you were a pet owner.
Now you're a pet parent.
Now you're a pet parent. एक word change होने से भाई, the way you look at your pet baby is a very different thing.
The founder of Ogao is a very good friend. They are into plants, and now they are calling the term plant parent.
When I own it, I got to say, now you're a plant
parent. Interesting. But Ashwin, ये तो बात हो गई packaged food की, where you have to print न्यूट्रिशन फैक्ट्स, इंग्रेडिएंट्स, मैन्युफैक्चर्ड, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, ऑल ऑफ दैट, ठीक है. मेरा एक प्रॉब्लम आज ये भी है that of course Zomato, Swiggy started in 2014, 2015, food delivery started, but this took a lot of momentum post pandemic because during lockdown we were not allowed to go out, restaurants were shut, and everybody was ordering, home. And once the lockdown was lifted, that habit is stuck. Like last 5 years, the number of orders on Zomato, for example, have grown 5x. Similar number for Swiggy. Right, and I just got the How India Eats report by Swiggy. Of course, in that health related like food orders where there is no added sugar or high protein, yeah, gluten free, all those vegan, for example, they are growing 2.3x more compared to the normal platform, which itself is growing 5x for the last 5 years. लेकिन इधर मेरे पास जो खाना आता है वो तो पैकेज्ड फूड नहीं है. वो तो कोई अपने रेस्टोरेंट में पाव भाजी बना रहा है, वो तो कोई अपने यहाँ पे छोले भटूरे बना रहा है, वो तो कोई बटर चिकन बना रहा है. ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू प्रिंट व्हाट इज द इंग्रेडिएंट्स, ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू पुट के वो उसके अंदर का जो पनीर है वो कितने टाइम से मेरे पास पड़ा है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट थिंग. इस केस में एंड आई एम श्योर, इनफैक्ट आई नो दैट यू वर्क वेरी क्लोजली विद द फूड डिलीवरी प्लेटफॉर्म्स. इन दिस केस, हाउ डू यू काइंड ऑफ इंश्योर दैट द फूड व्हिच इज कमिंग from these restaurants, which by the way Swiggy and Zomato have no tie up with, they are just facilitating the food delivery. तो इस केस में हाइजीन और फूड जिस तरीके से बन रहा है उस पर चेक कैसे है?
So, in 2018, both the food platforms started an initiative called Hygiene DD. Right? In 2017, we had actually launched this to FSSA.
Okay.
Hygiene rating scheme करके था. It did not take off very well for multiple reasons. However, Zomato and Swiggy and all the other platforms at that time were like, boss, we need to start doing hygiene because dark kitchens had become a thing.
Yeah.
People were complaining about quality, and that became one of the reasons not to order online because, boss, we don't know the quality you need. So all these guys were like, boss, let's start auditing, right? They're one of their partners. I remember on my conversation with one of them when we were only 25 auditors.
Okay.
And
today you are?
We have today 700 auditors across India. And all audits are done online. We have an app, and it's almost like an Ola Uber for
testing,
for auditing.
Auditing.
And so that time we had started this. We used to do almost 1.5 lakh audits a year. And the funny part was we did that in 2018, 2019. So 2020, when the pandemic hit, my logic said, oh, now this is going to go 5x. This year, because hygiene is suddenly going to become big. To my surprise, all the platforms dropped hygiene rate.
Okay.
And it was a little bit of a shocker, right? However, a lot of brands continue to test, continue to audit, even though the platforms dropped. Now, the reason, and right now, by the way, it started in 2025, again, hygiene ratings have started.
Yeah.
It is not growing at the speed at which it did in 2018, 2019. However, it still is growing, right? Today, individual restaurants have started doing audits, and they've started putting these ratings online on their social media. Some of them put it on their door, even though it doesn't have something called scores on doors, right? Which I think is probably FOP and आने के बाद the next big revolution in safety in India is going to be scores on doors. Like if you go in the UK, before you enter any establishment, आपको बाहर दिख रहा है वो A, B, C, D है क्या, right? And if something is a C or a D, you'll act, and the owner is there, you'll ask them, yeah, what's going on now? You came today, but maybe next time you may not come because you're a C or you're a D. The minute you make hygiene publicly visible, automatically the industry will have to start rising because now it's connected to their income. It's connected to their revenue, right? If I'm a C or a D, the chance of you passing me and not entering is much higher because you're like, D, who's going to eat in D? Yeah. So, I have to go and get re-audited, come to a C, come to a B, come to an A, is because now it's going to be into revenue. So, once this starts, this will get sorted. The second thing which you mentioned is today when you eat out or you order in, you have no idea kya hai, like how healthy is it or unhealthy it is. So, okay, the whole analog paneer ka stuff that is happening as well, right? So, I'll touch upon that as well. But I can't name any brands specifically for multiple reasons. There was a regulation by FSSAI recently, a few years ago actually, where it was if you had more than 10 restaurants or if you're a central license, you are supposed to display, even for a restaurant, you're supposed to display calories and allergen information on your menu card. Now, while this applied to 10 restaurants and more, a lot of restaurants started to do it because they were like, boss, now some people saw it as a problem. Ki, hey, you know what, मेरे छोले भटूरे को 800 कैलोरी दिखेगा, 1000 कैलोरी दिखेगा. But the smarter guys were like, 1 second, I am going to make it healthier. Maybe more expensive because maybe health may be more expensive. I maybe make it more expensive, but I'll make a healthier corner in my menu. And it started to work. Because today, when you go on any other platforms, health is a huge factor.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm looking at protein, I want to look at, oh, this has more protein, or let me order this bowl over that, whatever, something.
Yeah.
Right? Smarter people have started doing that because they started to realize that consumers are going towards healthier options. Now, when you touched upon analog paneer, you touched upon palm oil.
Yeah.
Literally, as we speak, there is something being designed where all of this is going to get a brand can ask for an audit to see where, hey, am I using this or not? And that's going to get caught. So now this also is going to become a new front of pack for restaurants where you're going to start seeing calories. You're going to start seeing allergens, which is a very underrepresented thing in all of this. Nobody in India, not too many people are allergic. However, that number is starting to rise. Slowly and steadily, people are figuring out, oh, I'm lactose intolerant, or hey, peanuts is giving me this kind of an issue. Right? But globally, that is there. For packaged food, FOPM, front of pack labeling, and for restaurants, scores of those, hygiene rating on your apps, and nutrition information is going to be the next thing.
Interesting. So, just like zero sugar is becoming a trend, high protein is also becoming a trend. जैसे हमारे diabetic, country है, वैसे ही हम एक protein deficient country भी है. Almost 65 to 70% of Indians are not consuming the right amount of protein they need as per their body weight and all of that. And now suddenly you are having a spurt of protein bars, protein shakes, protein powders, protein ice cream. Like Amul has kind of jumped into the bandwagon and come out with protein kulfi, protein lassi, and what have you. And we kind of leave it to the brand to kind of educate the consumer around how their protein is different from, let's say, whatever is available in the market. But let's say from a consumer point of view, what do you think will be a biggest gap in the consumer knowledge around a plethora of protein brands, and like how should consumer make a choice whether this is the protein I should go for?
There are 1, 2, 3 spurious protein powders being sold where there is amino spiking, where there are other bad things happening over there. Because for every good brand, there are 2, 3, 4 other spurious brands, right? Now, how do you define a spurious brand? Because this question comes to us quite often. One is that they are not giving what they're claiming that they. Right? So I think one of the studies that was done was like, hey, when they tested all, I think there are 30 plus protein brands in the country, they saw a very high percent of people not giving the protein that they've claimed. That was one. This was a older study, so maybe the newer study will possibly give us better results. Right? What was happening is people, to save money, instead of putting proper whey protein or putting amino spice, they were spiking with other things so that the reading comes, but the protein is not being given. Now the challenge over here is not that I'm not getting enough protein, I'm getting something else which I'm not supposed to be getting. So it's a form of adulteration in protein. Two, when you're buying protein, so what to look out for? So there are multiple kinds of protein now, whether you want plant-based or whether you want this thing, I think depends on personal preference. But when you're choosing a brand, the way I would choose a brand is that brand transparent in what they're putting in? One. Two, for every batch that I buy, can I access the report of that batch? If you see all the high growth brands
From the brand website?
from the brand website, from the brand's website, right? So a lot of the high growth brands have this QR code. And when you scan it, you're not getting a generic report from the Kildaman support. You're getting that batch ka thing. Or they'll take it to a place, they put the batch number, wo batch ka aapko report nahi karna hai. Now this is building in trust. I may do it once, I may do it twice. I'm not going to do it every single time. But once that brand, I have that trust. So next time I'm buying it, I'm going to let you rest assured care. I don't need to check every batch. But the first couple of batches, I will check, right? It could be a newer brand also, it could be an older brand also. But today, people are doing this to gain trust because that entire industry has a lot of mistrust around it. Right? For example, there's not too much mistrust around, let's say, if I buy water. There's not too much mistrust at the moment. But when it comes to protein, there was. And slowly and steadily, the smaller...
थोड़ा mistrust तो वहाँ पे भी है. Bisleri, Bilseri, Billeri, Bisleri.
No, that is straight up. That's not mistrust. That is just straight up forgery and... Yeah.
नहीं, but Bisleri का पानी और Bilseri का पानी में फर्क तो.
Of course. So, if you are buying Bilseri, You can expect this to be, well, what, if you're buying a Bisleri, you expect Bisleri and water, right? But it is a ramp up. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Ashwin, what advice would you give a young consumer walking into a supplement store today and is looking for what kind of coating good for?
So one is preferably go for a more known brand, because the more known brand is possibly known because it's doing a good job. Two, buy a supplement where you can trace that specific batch report, because you know that every batch is now being tested. I'm not saying you to do this every single time, but once, let's say I'm buying a protein powder yogurt, I scan your code once, I scan your code twice. Now, once I'm sure that you're doing batch-wise testing, maybe the third, fourth, fifth time, I don't need to check it, right? Work with brands that are very transparent on what is inside the product. Everything on the label you should be able to read. And if it has only INS numbers and so kind, hiding behind INS code, actually can. Don't go for that. Always go for something where you can read what is inside it, and two, things which have a report, which you are rest assured of informative.
मैं तो हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि INS विक्रांत ही ठीक है, उसके अलावा जो भी INS है ना, it's just somebody trying to masquerade in terms of it. But see, all these brands, for example, whenever they're putting all these reports on QR code, the backend is being powered by Equinox or some other lab. तो आपके यहाँ पे बहुत दिन के लाखों या महीने के लाखों टेस्ट होते होंगे कर. And I'm sure that you have your fiduciary responsibility to print all the accurate,
Absolutely.
Have you ever lost a consumer because you were too honest?
Every single week.
Every single week.
हर हफ्ते एटलीस्ट एक कोई विचार करेगा जो बोलेगा, हे मैंने तो इतना डाला है या मुझे इतना क्लेम करना है, you're only showing me this. Can you change the result? And the answer is always the same standard answer, no. If somebody says, Arey, your result is little off, can you retest? We will retest. No doubt. I'm not saying you can't be no.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm giving you protein example, I'll give you protein of 10 and you're expecting 15 or 20. Because you're like, well, my recipe I've added this for, I want to make a claim or whatever. We will retest it. If we get the same answer again, we are not giving you it. There's no chance. If that many customers are saying, oh, then we will go to somebody else. The answer is, I'm okay. Today we work with 90,000 customers, and the reason we are growing at that speed and the reason we have the most recommended lab is because we have held that standard. The minute I start diluting it, I will start attracting the wrong sort of crowd.
Every test requires an NABL accredited lab. How many NABL labs are there today versus when you started?
When I started, that number was in hundreds. Okay. Today, it is in thousands, which is good, right? It's a growing industry. A lot of new labs are coming up. They are slowly and steadily developing their strengths, which is, I'm very glad to see that. Many people, when I say this, when people are like, oh, you're getting more competitors. I'm like, we're not getting more competitors. Industry is growing so fast that everyone wants localized facilities, so it's a little faster, it's a little quicker. Like, while we have 5 labs, we do sample collections from almost every city.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want a quick R&D sample, you want to send it to a quick local lab, and it's perfectly fine. Again, that we are not going to be able to capture the full market. So I actually encourage a lot of labs when they want to start, and many of the companies are mentoring. And I'm happy to mentor them. And many people are like, you're mentoring your competitors. I'm like, I'm helping the industry. It's an ecosystem of everyone feeds everyone. It's perfectly fine.
No, I
You help each other out, that's how we kind of.
It is. Like, I think that is the mindset which I think founders, when they have reached a certain level and the experience they have gained, is kind of always use that knowledge, share it, help upcoming founders. And I think they have this, पूरा the ecosystem. एक fun round करेंगे, लेकिन उसके पहले I want to talk about one pressing issue, and I have personally bore the brunt of it. Is this growing menace of influencers who claim that they are experts in food, nutrition, understanding, what goes inside. तो हाल ही में एक जाने माने इन्फ्लुएंसर ने हमारे ब्रांड पे वीडियो निकाला और क्लेम किया था कि इस ब्रांड में 300% ज्यादा शुगर है. तो अगेन अ वेरी क्लिकबेटी काइंड ऑफ हेडलाइन, because a zero sugar brand has 300% sugar. Everybody will say, भाई क्या हुआ. Correct. And then they of course use Shark Tank. ये Shark Tank का brand था. Shark so क्या कर रहे, DD भी नहीं कर रहे before investing and all of that. And then of course 1 minute into the video he says this was lactose, which is anyways naturally found in milk. Of course. So थोड़ा सा misleading हो गया था. But what happens is just like brands are trying to educate people about the kind of change they are kind of trying to bring about in the industry, there is a growing set of people who are kind of doing exactly the opposite with vested interests. ये आपने कभी मैंने देखा है और how can we tackle this? Like, because by the time I reach out to the influencer and by the time I kind of, मैंने तो मेरा रिपोर्ट भी उनके वीडियो पे डाला था कमेंट करके, वो डिलीट कर दिया. So it was a very one-way approach where the brand is not allowed to give any justification and will be deleted. तो इसका क्या कर सकते हैं? And how can brands safeguard themselves?
So the first thing is, today brands are safeguarding themselves. Anyone who calls themselves a brand, they are very, very clear that brand is built on quality is one of the biggest pillars of any brand. It can be marketing, product and all that, but fine, it can be very, tasty hai, ye hai, healthier hai, better for you. But one of the biggest pillars is quality. So if you're dead sure of your quality, you don't have to worry about all these influencers. They will come and go. Right? There are a lot of these micro influencers who are trying to make money, quick buck. I know some people who will reach out to a brand saying, "Oh, I'm going to hire made this video. I'm sending it to you. Hey, if you don't pay me this, I'm release it." Yeah. That's literally the
always hostage. Samki ho gaya.
No, it's just taking your brand hostage.
Yeah.
Okay, and people may. And I'm like, are you crazy? What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Because people are scared. Founders today don't need to be scared of these micro influencers or fake influencers. Because if you're doing solid work, if you're testing everything, if you're auditing everything, you're dead sure of what you're doing. You don't have to worry about it. So I was at this event at FSCCI a couple of months ago, and Shashank Mehta from Whole Room was there.
Yeah.
And when the FSCCI CEO asked him, hey, what suggestion do you have? He came up with a very interesting idea. उनका आइडिया क्या था कि भाई ये जो फूड इन्फ्लुएंसर्स है उनका कोई आगा पीछा कुछ नहीं, भाई वो डॉक्टर है कुछ, विद इज नथिंग, राइट? मोस्ट ऑफ सी सम ऑफ देम आर जेन्युइन, दे आर डॉक्टर्स, दे आर न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट, दे आर नॉलेजेबल, व्हिच इज गुड. They will add some value, right? But some rando guy gets up and just today anyone with a camera is an influencer.
Yeah.
Camera and Instagram account बनने में influencer बनने हैं, right? उनको certify करवा. That was a very interesting idea कि FSCCI should, if somebody is going to talk on food quality, anything, there has to be some step of approach by FSCCI allowed to talk. For example, now when you talk about the financial markets,
Correct.
you need to have some background, you have to have something over there.
So influencers का भी एक similar menace है. So they have to be SEBI registered before you can give your
Same concept, bringing it to food. How far away? This is a very far away. I know it's a far-fetched concept, but that concept exists. Right? Two, consumers have to understand the difference between influencer who's knowledgeable, who's either has a nutrition background or has a medical background, versus some random guy who's just talking for clickbaits. Because see, no matter what you do, clickbaity stuff is not going good. It is going to be good. But as a founder, if you are sure of your quality, you don't worry about it.
And the other thing is, as a consumer, like a person who is following this, or even if I'm a non-follower, it just pops up on my feed.
Correct.
And this is a brand which I have kind of consumed for so many months. So I got DM saying, Kiran, I have been a avid consumer of Bose, and suddenly I've seen this video. Is it true? Is it not true? They kind of question. So as a consumer, how do I look at these videos and, what should I do?
So if you are a consumer and you see one of these, trash talking videos where they're trashing a brand, if you are the avid follower of the brand, if you're consuming that brand, one, we either wait for a response because the brand will respond, they should respond.
Yeah.
Two, reach out to the brand, reach out to the founder. Today, all founders are one DM away.
Yeah.
Brands are one DM away. Yeah. Now, one way to but the advice I give founders when something like this happens, and this happens quite often nowadays in India, is within 24 to 48 hours, put out a public statement. Put out what you've been doing at the back end. Now, unfortunately, what happens many times is that we don't let our consumers know कि back end में क्या कर रहे, कितना effort ले रहे हैं. We audit कर रहे, testing कर रहे, training कर रहे, ये कर रहे, वो कर रहे, इतना licenses ले रहे. Customer doesn't know. Customer is just saying this one little thing. When they follow you on social media, when they come across you on social media, and if they see that trust is being built, and today I think Gozio is doing a fantastic job. You're doing a fantastic job where you are your own face of your own brand. It's not just hiring like random people to know your face. You are your own face. People have a trust on that, right? Another person doing a great job is Shashank for Whole Truth. We have the two brothers. There's so many other people where the founder is the face. People rely on that more. But if you ever see a video this way, anytime I have seen a video this way, and if I know the founder or if I know the brand, I'm DMing them saying, hey guys, I saw this. What's up? Normally we'll get a response saying, hey guys, this is what they'll give their version of it, or sometimes they will send a link to what they have put up. This is not something you need to be afraid of. This is something you need to take head on. Now, where will you be afraid? You've not done anything to protect your brand. Now somebody's throwing stones at you and you have no way to defend. You have no shield.
Yeah.
when you have a good quality, simply that is your shit, right? So that will help. Yeah, absolutely.
कूल थोड़ा सा सीरियस हो गया है तो इसको थोड़ा सा फन बनाते हैं बट ऑफ कोर्स वी विल स्टिल गेट सम ज्ञान फ्रॉम यू आल्सो सो लेट्स डू अ वेरी क्विक रैपिड फायर विथ यू लंबे आंसर दीजिए शॉर्ट चाहिए एक सेंटेंस 2 सेंटेंस मैक्सिमम करेक्ट ओके फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन बर्निंग टॉपिक इफ योर ऑफिस AQI is 300 plus what immediate actions can employees take?
Wear a mask, have more plants around you, get an air purifier. Go on.
Cold press juice, how can the consumer tell the quality within 10 seconds?
With cold press, you may or may not be able to say immediately. If it tastes fresh, there is no synthetic flavoring, it is probably benefit.
Which industry will feel the biggest impact of new labeling laws? Snacks, beverages, or health foods?
Snacks.
Snacks. Okay. Then which is that one safe snack consumer think is healthy but is usually not?
I don't want to call out anyone but Makhana because while it is healthy here, the amount of ghee that goes into it can be quite unhealthy if done wrongly.
Got it. Which new rule is coming that no one is taking seriously yet but should be afraid of?
I think FOPL is something that is going to change the industry. So that is something that we need to start preparing for even before the rule is done.
And the last question, if you were to teach the average Indian 5 tests to judge food quality, what to take?
Make sure you're buying it fresh. Any veggies you're buying, buy them in front of you.
I believe this.
Sanitize your vegetables. Buy things from good brands that are trustworthy. If there's a new brand, verify your trust. And last but not the least, when you're at home, eat cooked food. If you're getting it from a restaurant, make sure it is a hygienic restaurant.
Ghar ka khana is becoming as mythical as the unicorn itself.
Correct.
But nothing beats the good old ghar ka khana, provided I still know how to make it. So Ashwin, now we will do something which probably no founder or brand has done on live camera, is inviting somebody from the testing industry who is kind of one of the leading authorities on what should go inside the product or not, and inviting them to take my brand and my packaging and kind of do a breakdown on what is Kiran Shah actually writing on back of the pack in Bo Zero. One, is it compliant with FSSAI or not? And second, is there anything which I am probably writing in a way which is misleading? So FSSAI तो बोलता है कि ठीक है आपने सही लिखा है, but थोड़ा सा और ट्रांसपेरेंसी में इस पे बिल्ड कर सकता था.
So, first of all, you're the first one to invite me to do this on camera. Yeah. Most people who do this is before they launch, they want to be sure.
Yeah.
Because they don't want somebody to take a picture and say, but on it later on. I'm going to take about a minute to scan it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you've put the calories on front of pack. I think that's a smart move. I also like the fact you put your name and your face on the pack. So that's a country move.
कुछ problem हुआ तो this is the guy you can just catch hold of.
So today, brands connect more. People connect more with founders than with brands.
Absolutely.
Right. So if they know the person, so the suggestion I would give you is that have a QR code where they can follow you on LinkedIn or reach out to you on maybe Insta or LinkedIn. Yeah. And maybe then again, it's not an FSA requirement, but I think it may do well.
I thought you tell me it's a better looking photo.
No, I think it's a good photo. I think you've put all the nutrition requirements, you've put the serve sizes, you've put the RDA recommendations. You've even gone out and called out your polyols, RD fibers, which is fantastic. You've put the ingredients, including everything good. You've put allergen declarations, you put disclaimers, manufacturing information, customer care information, social media information, which are not mandated but good to have, storage information. I think you've covered everything that FSA requires, and I think you've got a little beyond. So I couldn't find anything wrong. And I have an eye for. I mean, it takes me about 10 days to find errors. I didn't find any errors in this.
Right.
So I think you've done a fantastic job.
Now, the only thing which I think what bothers me is when you make an artwork or when you print the nutrition table on the artwork, there's only one batch you will test, get all your energy, fat, protein, sugar, and then you'll have to print it because then you print next year 3 months of worth of inventory or 6 months worth of inventory.
Correct.
अब क्या होता है बैच टू बैच, कभी कुछ वेरिएंस आया, कभी कुछ टॉलरेंस आया. जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है 72 कैलोरीज पर 100. हो सकता है जब एक्चुअल आप लैब में टेस्ट करो तो वो 80 आए, या 75 आएगा, 72 तो नहीं आएगा, उतना तो मुझे भी पता है. तो इन दिस केस व्हाट आर दी फसाई से एंड व्हाट आर द गाइडलाइंस अराउंड कि आपने प्रिंट कितना किया है और एक्चुअल टेस्ट में कितना.
See now, if you're using only chemicals, a pharmaceutical product,
ओके.
in pharma the tolerance is always much because we are using chemicals and they're always the same.
या.
If you're using natural ingredients, the variance is always going to be high. Typically, anywhere between 10 to 15% will be a very natural variance, going as high as 20%. Because they're using natural products. Batch to batch, there will be a change. Season to season, there will be a change. Right? If you see a report that you've published, and if somebody does testing in the market after 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whenever, there will be a difference because aapka report did not be specifically for the batch. So, for example, this
Yeah.
and a test result from a new batch will be different. As you correctly said, as another laboratory, it's never the same because there's variance within the instrument, there's variance within the chemicals, there's variance within the people, right? All of that compounded together will give you a different result. If it is within a 20% tolerance, I think you're safe.
20%. तो अगर आज मेरा हम लोग देख रहे हैं बेल्जियन डार्क चॉकलेट है, तो बेल्जियन डार्क चॉकलेट हैज अराउंड 97 कैलोरीज पर 100 ml हो तो पर सर्विंग साइज. तो 97 का नीचे तो जाऊंगा तो पब्लिक खुशी सी लाइक इफ आई एम गिविंग लेसर कैलोरीज देन 97 दे आर ऑलवेज हैप्पी. बट अप टू अगर किसी कस्टमर ने या इन्फ्लुएंसर तो ठीक है, किसी कस्टमर ने टेस्ट किया बिकॉज पीपल आर जेन्युइनली कंसर्न अबाउट कैलोरीज सही जा रही है कि नहीं. तो इफ 116.4 कैलोरीज उनके रिपोर्ट पे आया है,
It is still, you're still good. The reason is you're using natural ingredients. There will be a variance without a doubt.
do you need to print it somewhere on the pack that 20% is allowed so somebody knows it, or
No, that's not a requirement.
should you do it?
What you can always write, since natural ingredients are used, the nutrition level the way. That's one thing you can add, which is again not required by law. You can add because they're using natural ingredients. If you're going to use chocolate, you're going to use, let's say cocoa, you're going to use, let's say strawberry or mango, or you're going to put something, you're going to put it, let's say dry fruits. There will be a difference.
Yeah. This has been an amazing conversation, Ashwin, and every time I chat with you, there's always something new for me to take away. And, this is eventually food we are talking about, which goes inside our stomach, right? All the more important for founders like me. But tell me, you've seen this, like almost, you've grown up in a family which has done water testing and, treatment for so long. And now you are in, pioneering a lot of changes in the food and air and water testing in India. After everything that you've seen over the decades, like past decades, what still makes you optimistic about the future of food safety in India?
The one thing that makes me really optimistic over food safety, specifically in India, are the food founders. The mindset of food founders has changed drastically in the 2 decades. Like Equinox just in August completed 20 years. Wow. In the last 2 decades, like 18 years ago, 15 years ago, the conversation with founders used to be like, hey, what can I do to just get by? Basic carry.
Yeah.
What can I avoid? Now the conversation is today people are coming to me pre-launch. People are coming to me with an idea. Ki, hey, I want to launch this. What all do I need to do? What are the best practices? See, one is they're asking what is the law? But beyond that, they're asking, hey, what are the best practices? As a brand, you're very correct, right? That is what is making me optimistic because that is going to be the future.
Amazing. I think on that note, thank you. I think viewers are going to have a fantastic time, and a lot of people are now going to go back and take that back and read it a bit more confident.
Hope so. And Akhil, thank you for inviting me on this podcast. I think you're doing an amazing job. With Zero In with Kiran. Do more of these. The country requires more insights. Today, as a brand, you all are extremely popular. As a person, your personal brand is also getting extremely popular. So keep doing the good work, keep spreading the good knowledge. And I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. I wish you guys the very best.
Cheers. Thank you so much.